With everything going on in the theme parks right now, I thought it was fun to have two kind of slow-paced vlogs from Fort Myers, Florida. In vlog number 1, I visited the spring training home of the Boston Red Sox and started my hike in 6 Mile Cypress Slough Preserve. That's where we're going to pick things up again today in vlog number 2. Do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, and enjoy some nature, and later a little more baseball. So we spent almost exactly an hour. I think by the time I finish recording this, it will have been 1 hour at the 6 Mile Cypress Slough Preserve. This is in the Fort Myers area. I'll tell you what, I loved this. I didn't really get to see much wildlife throughout the little hike here, but I loved how we were in swamp the entire time. There was water, like the boardwalk in a lot of these different preserves just has you over land, so you're not distracting the plants and animals. But here, you were over water the entire time. This was basically one big lake that had small ponds in it where there weren't any trees, because most of it was trees growing up through the water. So this was really cool, a big Florida experience. And I don't like to tell anybody how to travel, how to vacation or anything, but I do think these types of places are good suggestions if you really want to get a feel for what a place looked like before people came in and changed everything and, you know, built the buildings and put up the strip malls. This is just a nice look at how Florida looked before all of these people moved down here. So really cool. Love to get out in nature, love to get exercise while I'm also learning and seeing new things. And now I'm gonna go to a baseball game and sit down for about 2.5 hours. So now that I am parked for the Fort Myers Mighty Muscles game and I'm about to head into the ballpark, I am gonna say one thing that kind of bothers me a little bit. $10 to park here just kind of screams small town with nothing else to do here. I've been to a lot of games in this league, the Florida State League. Bradenton doesn't charge. I mean, I guess they have like VIP parking where they charge like right next to the stadium. Bradenton doesn't charge. Daytona, you can get right up to the stadium for $5, or you can park for free across the street. Clearwater is $5, and they have the most going on of any team in this league. It's free in Lakeland for the Flying Tigers. It's free for, frankly, most of these ballparks. It's free in Tampa for the Tarpons, who are the Yankees team. If anybody is gonna try to milk you for money, you'd think it would be the Yankees team. So I just want to say that, like, that kind of, you know, started the experience on the wrong foot. I always think that the most important customer service aspects, where you want to make sure that your fans, your guests, your customers, whatever, feel happy, are when they're getting there and when they're leaving, because those are the memories that stick the most. A bad entrance story can ruin the next couple hours, and a bad exit story obviously leaves a bad taste in your mouth. I'm still going to be open-minded, of course, and I'm happy to be seeing some baseball, but $10 for low single A is a little bit too much. I don't normally leave games early, but there are two quick places I want to stop by before I leave Fort Myers and head back home. Plus, it's more than a 2-hour drive back home. So, I am going to be leaving early. I'm going to say a Fort Myers Mighty Muscles game is pretty good, pretty enjoyable. I would say that $10 to park is a little too much. Some of the concession prices are a little pricier than they are at some of the other low single A events. I think that Fort Myers being a smaller town and not having a lot going on around here, as you can see there's lightning in the distance. Not where they're playing the game, but definitely in the distance. Because it is a smaller town and there's not a lot for the people to do for entertainment, I think this minor league team really does take advantage of that by charging more, but you know, I guess that'll happen. It's really the only team in this league for at least an hour and a half. I think we're about an hour and a half away from Bradenton, where the Marauders, the Pirates affiliate, plays. So they do kind of have a corner on the market in that respect. Other than that, really nice ballpark. I could definitely see enjoying a spring training game here when it's more packed and there's a little more juice happening. But I'm gonna try to check out, like I said, 2 more spots in Fort Myers, and then I'm gonna get driving on home. This is actually a little more depressing than even I anticipated. Behind me, this very poorly lit entrance is the entrance to City of Palms Park here in Fort Myers, Florida. Before JetBlue Park, where I was earlier today, this was the spring training home of the Boston Red Sox. In 2005, I've talked about it before, a vacation down to Florida with a friend who's not a friend of mine anymore, but we came down to Florida to go to Walt Disney World a couple days and to catch spring training baseball. It was the spring training after the Red Sox snapped an 86-year World Series drought, and we had to get tickets here. We got standing room only, and we were like on the phone like that when they went on sale. I actually saw the Red Sox play the Dodgers here for spring training of 2005. Saw all of the guys who were a big part of winning the World Series the year before, guys like Johnny Damon, David Ortiz, my second favorite player of all time, Manny Ramirez. Manny actually hit a home run in that game, absolutely crushed one, and I can't believe now it is just this poorly lit stadium basically rotting here in the middle of Fort Myers. It's so sad. I understand what the Red Sox wanted. They wanted to move the facility a little out of town so they had plenty of room for parking so they can charge for parking instead of people in town charging for parking. That was revenue they were losing. They've turned it into Fenway South, so they probably control all of the restaurants, all of the food vendors, all of the beer vendors, all of the souvenir sales, but it's sad because this was really cool to park in just somebody's lawn here, pay them so you could park in their lawn, and then you walked a few blocks and entered here at City of Palms Park, and it was a really, really cool atmosphere. I'm a little sad about that. This is one of the places I wanted to see before I headed back to the Tampa Bay area, and I don't know if I'm happy that I got the chance to see it. I am now at Terry Park, which is another former spring training baseball park. However, this one is still used for other purposes, not for professional baseball, but they still do use it. It is still an active park. As a matter of fact, like right now, I am here and I am inside the gates. It's like 10 o'clock. The park closes at 11 officially. So this is even like legal to be here time. Although the stadium itself is closed because nobody has it booked. But just a little history of this stadium. It is a National Historical Site here in Florida. It is named for the family who donated the land in the 1920s. This stadium has hosted Major League Baseball spring training as well as dozens of years of Florida State League baseball. The stadium has hosted the Philadelphia Athletics, Cleveland, the Pittsburgh Pirates, and the Kansas City Royals for spring training. Players who have played here on this field include Babe Ruth, Ty Cobb, Roberto Clemente, Jimmy Fox, Bob Feller, Tris Speaker, and of course, Kansas City Royals great George Brett. So many legends have played here, and I don't know about you, but sometimes just looking at a baseball stadium and going, you know what? Babe freaking Ruth played here is just something cool for me. So anyway, this is the end of my scatterbrained day in Fort Myers, Florida. I'm gonna get in the car, head back to the Tampa Bay area. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me, seeing some baseball, seeing some nature, and just having a good time. Do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm going to fade into the darkness here.